But what do we call? We need to rename the granny flat. We need a snappy little name that that the real estate can use, that we can all use to refer to other dwellings outside of the main house. Mark Skelsey is from the New South Wales Department of Planning. He's a spokesperson for them and joins us here this afternoon. Mark, thanks for giving some time.
Yeah, hi James.
Now, this is an important issue. You're happy that we're dealing with this? It must be very difficult for the New South Wales Department of Planning to keep using granny flats.
Well, you're right in a way, James. You know, we're planners, so maybe not always quite as exciting as we could be. So if you ask your average planner what they're called, the answer, of course, is that they're called, and everyone knows this, James, secondary occupancy dwellings.
Secondary occupancy dwelling. That's not bad. Toad.
Shocker. It's a shocker.
Todd.
So I've thought of another name, though,
Yeah.
which potentially Fonzie flats.
Fonzie flats.
Well, you know, happy days, the sort of the friend. I mean, we're getting a lot more young people in Sydney. You know, there's two key growth areas in Sydney for young people and also for elderly people. So we often do think about these as being granny flats, as you say, but a lot of young people have got to live in them as well. So Fonzie flats is a potential other idea. Just throwing it out there.
No, very good. Thank you, Mark. Fonzie flats from Mark Skelsey. What are the basic rules around this? Like, can I just whack up? If I've got, say, a garage down the back, can I just put a bed in there now and it becomes a Fonzie flat?
Not quite as easy as that. I mean, for your traditional granny flat, we did introduce some new statewide rules in 2009. There were certainly a lot of different council rules, so we saw that granny flats or secondary dwellings had a potential big role to play in meeting our housing supply needs. So 2009. Now, if you were going to put your development application into the local council, generally you'd need more than 450 square metres. You would need to be residential land, so zone residential under your local plan. You wouldn't be allowed to subdivide it from your main property. And by and large, depending on the local rules, a maximum floor area of about 60 square metres. So there's some of the rules and regulations for a development application. You also have the potential of getting a 10-day development approval from a private certifier if you meet some other guidelines and regulations. But generally we find that this whole granny flat building is going really well and people are very keen to do it.
Well, that's my feeling, is that people, it is a growing area. More and more people are doing it. And councils and government want it, don't they?
Well, generally, I think that it's seen as a fairly low-impact form of building that helps meet our housing needs. It's clearly got the benefit of being able to house expanding families or indeed grannies as with the original intention. But certainly a lot of people are using it, investors in particular, to increase the rental stream. So they own currently a house, they build a granny flat at the back, and suddenly the yield increases a lot. And from some of the reporting and some of the real estate documents I've seen, the yields can be very, very strong from a granny flat at the rear of the property.
All right, Mark, thanks for that. Okay. We'll try and find a better name for the second occupancy dwelling.
Okay, good luck to your listeners.
And thanks for the suggestion of Fonzie flat. That's very good. 1300 222 702 is our number. Mark Skelsey is from the New South Wales Department of Planning.